Please welcome Michelle Miller. So Michelle, how exciting, because you 3 decades in journalism, you were recently in London, you covered the coronation. That must have been crazy.
It was so wild. You know, I covered the Will and Kate wedding 12 years ago, and a different feeling. This had more oomph and meaning because it's a state process, right? But the takeaways were, one, love who you love.
Yeah.
Because that man loved his woman.
Yes.
I was a Team Diana all the way, but to see the longevity
of him and Camilla.
King Charles and Queen Camilla.
Yes.
It was pretty astounding. And then the loneliness of Harry, Prince Harry.
Wow.
Was really daunting for me. He looked happy, but getting into that car, and we got the heads up, he wasn't going to the luncheon.
Yeah.
And that was really hard to hear, folks, that, you know, there's still somewhat of a distance,
family.
yes.
Wow.
But Team Dana, Team Jeff, and I, at Satmo Team, we were having such fun. I mean, it was our first field trip.
Yeah, out there.
We did, I know. Road trip. I would recommend it for every office team there is.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who I talk to. What human resources box I got to put in to go over to London to do the Sherri show. But
Just ask.
Tell them on your way out, girl. You know, it's funny because you talk about, ironic because you talk about the loneliness with Prince Harry, and in your book Belonging, which is your first book. I know with my first book, I was always trying to see if they had my book on the shelves. Were you scoping out to see if they had your book?
Oh my gosh. You followed me on IG. I ghost raid bookstores. Oh yeah.
You were looking for their book?
And then I accost customers looking for books. And I kind of forced the issue a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's fun. I ghost sign books, and I even go into bookstores that don't have the book, and I request it.
There you go. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. And I am glad that you do. I am so glad that you do, because when I started reading this, like the first line, and I never wear my glasses on TV, that's how special you are, girl. So the first line said, "Only hours after I squinted up at my mother's face in the delivery room, she was gone." So that just hit me right there. Why was your mother gone? What happened?
Well, my mother and father, as my father always described, they fell in love. They had me, and then she had to leave. And she had to leave because, one, my father was married. Two, my mother's family found out she was dating a black man, and they said it's him or us. And this was before they knew anything about her pregnancy. And so while, you know, I give her grace in her decision.
Right.
Because, you know, we love our family. It's the family we know. But by the same token, she knew that she didn't have the strength to go through an ordeal of, one, does this man love me enough to leave his wife? And two, do I love him enough to leave my family?
Leave her family.
And so, yeah, that is the question. I guess.
mean, it's so wild to me that your mother, and she chose her family and she left you. So you had found your birth mother. Mm-hmm. You located her. How did it go?
It went, well, she agreed to meet with me for an hour. Again, no one on that side of the family knows I exist.
Really?
They, to this day, do not know. And I met with her, this was now 30 years ago.
Right.
And she said, I'm proud of you. Your grandmother, my big mama, raised a lovely young woman. And I know that you wouldn't be the woman you are today. She told me 10 years ago, right, if I had raised you.
So did she want to, have a relationship with you?
I think she wanted a relationship at a distance because still she's living in that, it's a lie, right?
Right,
She's never told her family. And so we go through evolutions of emotion and lenses with each and every age, right? Yeah. And first it was the lens of, I understand, I don't feel bitter. As a child, I felt very lonely. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt the absence. As an adult, I realized going through that and making the decision, am I gonna live in the origin of what everybody else says is abnormal in this existence?
Right.
Or am I gonna live in some joy? And I chose joy, I really did.
I am so, Michelle, this book is like it's like I can't stop reading, I can't stop turning the page on even how you have gone to joy and how you worked on forgiveness. So you have to get the book, you have to get Michelle Miller's book. I want to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Belonging, A Daughter's Search for Identity Through Loss and Love is out now. And studio audience, you are all getting a copy. Yes!